Today I'm so excited because I'm going to be showing you all 16 singles that I love to use in winter. I did a palette version of this a couple of days ago. The link to that video is in the description box below. I'll put it also up here. This is the first time I'm doing the single version in this channel. These are not the only shades in my collections that remind me of winter, but I try to pick and choose different ones. I try to represent a lot of different brands, and I try to pick the ones that I thought were very special. So let's get started. The first one I have is this beautiful shade from Glam Shop, the Polish brand. It is called Fata Morgana or Mirage. And as you can see, it's a marbled shade. Super beautiful shade that has different colors of ancient gold or rustic gold, and then also streaks of blue. And I think where they have mixed, you kind of see a hint of pinks. This is a gorgeous color. Beauties, one issue with marbled shades like this that I've mentioned in this channel before is that the brand, as they created the marble shade, should have thought about how the shade is going to look when all of the colors in the pan mix together. And most times, you know, they choose a lot of complementary colors and you're going to get something very muddy and brown. Now, in this case, the colors actually turn out pretty interesting. Let's test it. And I also love that Glam Shop singles are so creamy. And isn't that just so gorgeous? So what I see is a teal base that you can see when my hand goes in the shade, with a goldish, silverish glaze, even partially taupe glaze on top. And that is absolutely gorgeous. The next shade that we have is from Luxie Beauty. This is called Blue Lagoon. Honestly, a lot of other brands would have released this shade as a high-end multichrome. I don't know if you can see the hint of purple and the hint of gold, but it's absolutely gorgeous, and it has both. So again, it has a sky blue base with the glaze over it being pinkish purplish at some angles and then gold at some other angles. After I swatch a few of them, I'm going to show you these swatches from a different angle, so stay tuned. Beauties, the next color is from Glam Shop. This one is Alchemy, which is a metallic teal. I imagine they're going to come back, which is part of the reason I'm talking about it, but I know they're not available at the moment. It's just some of you might already have this color. So this is an extreme metallic, so it literally looks like metal swatched on your hand, and it's so beautiful. In some angles it looks a little lighter, and in some angles it looks a little darker, and it makes for such a special shade. Our next color, beauties, is from Divina. I've already swatched this before when I did the Phantom Orbs collection. This is from the Phantom Orbs collection. It's called Water Mist. I continue to think I did not do this color justice when I talked about it last time in this channel in that video, so I wanted to talk about it again. This kind of a light, almost iridescent multichrome really needs to be talked about, because we don't see iridescent multichromes with sort of a green base or a mint base very often. As I'm moving this, I'm hoping that you can see the shift in the hues. So you definitely see a green shift as well as a purpley shift. So beauties, I put a little bit of Divina's glitter glue under the shade to amplify the effect. Hopefully the purpley pinky shift as well as the green sort of gold shift all show through. Okay, let's quickly look at these from a different angle just to see if we can capture any other shift. Continuing with the next row, our first color is Pistol Star from Moons. This is one of those flakies, but it's very, very gorgeous. And honestly, this totally makes me feel chilled up and wintry all through my body. And I had to include this shade in the palette. So this shade at Standstill has a hue of purple from some angles and maybe a little bit of magenta and a little bit of gold from some angles. But then when swatched, it just looks super magical. So you can see all of those shades in the swatch. Our next shade is also from Luxie Beauty. This one is Starboy, and this is also one of those super beautiful shimmers that totally remind me of snow. This color has a very mild pink base with the glaze over it showing gold at some angles, white at some angles, and very mild green at some other angles. The next color is one of my favorites from Glaminatrix. This is Baubles. I think this was from their Silent Night palette a couple of years ago, but I bought it as singles, and it's this gorgeous, gorgeous, very special shade going blue to purple to gold. This shade I think is still available on their website, or that they bring it back periodically because I didn't buy it that long ago. Yeah, so it's pretty opaque, and you see the shifts going from very light pinky magenta to gold to green. I even see blue and teal at some angles. I could not do a video without talking about this next color, which is one of my favorite, if not my favorite color from Moons. Cosmos. Yes, beauties, you all know I love this shade, and it goes blue to purple to gold to green. It's so beautiful. So Cosmos is relatively opaque. It might be a little bit transparent. You should be able to see the purple color, the blue color, the green, gold, and all of those beautiful shifts. Okay, beauties, this is the second row with light from a different angle. Let's see if we can find any other shifts. You can see how special that Pistol Star shade is. This color is from the Fantasy 2.0 collection of Shine by SD. I already have a review of the first 4 colors in that collection that launched last year, and this color was in that collection, the first launch, called Takeover. This is one of my favorite colors from that collection. Let's swatch it. You see how special this shade is. It's a pretty flaky, so use a little bit of glitter glue before putting it on. I already prepped my hand with a little bit of specular from Divina. So this kind of effect you don't see very often. This literally looks like I've swatched multichrome metal on my hand that goes blue, and you all might be seeing a different shift, but from the angle I'm looking at it, which is a little bit angled from you guys' angle, I see blue, and then I see copper, then I see gold, then I see pink or magenta pink, and it's so, so, so beautiful. And I'm sure you all are seeing the same shifts, but maybe in a different order. Of course, no selection is complete without a few Clionadh, and this is one of my favorites that is kind of ideal for this time of the year because it has a blue shift. This is Glow from their Glitter Iridescent Multichrome collection. So this color doesn't really have a cream base. I mean, it kind of is wet looking, so whatever base is under it is gonna just blend with the look and is gonna make it look like your eye is wet. The shifts for it go from blue to purple, and from some angles you might be able to catch some teal. As I mentioned, I try to use different brands of products to show you, and our next one is MBA Cosmetics. I also have a full swatch of all of my MBA cosmetics. This is called Infinite Rainbow. I think it was the Rainbow collection or something like that. Look at this. Generally with all of these, you're going to get better effect using them over glitter glue, which is actually what I do pretty much all the time with shimmers. So as you can see here, also you go from a blue to a bronze to a pink. And at some angles, you can also probably catch gold. Continuing, this color is also from Terra Moons, and I think this color is amazing for this time of the year. It's sort of a mint with a very frosty looking hue. The name of this color is Moon Mist. This color is very flaky, which is why I also use some specular under it. And you can see how the base color is sort of a mint green, and then over it there is a hue that goes light blue to silver. This is so pretty. Third row with light from a different angle. Let's see what kind of shifts we can catch. Okay, beauties, continuing with our last row. As I mentioned, let's try a variety of different brands. This one is from Copacetic Excellence. I think this is sort of almost a holographic shade. I don't know if they advertise this as holographic, but it's a beautiful shade. You see that? Like, how insane is this? From some angles in the dark, you see sort of a grayish, purplish, bluish, dark blue, which kind of could be considered the base color. And then you see the purple going into light bronze. And that is so beautiful. And from some angles, the purple turns to pink, which is super beautiful. Yeah, this is one of those very, very special shades. I don't remember how much it was, but Copacetic is totally a brand you should not be sleeping on. Our next color is one of my favorite shades from Clionadh. This is Diadem from their Glitter Vibrant Multichromes. So this shade has a light blue base, and then you can see it go from kind of goldish teal all the way to gold, all the way to light pink. Let's do another color from Clionadh because I just couldn't not. I had to. This is from their Dimensional Multichrome. This is Oxidize. I love the Dimensional Multichromes beauties for this time of the year. They're so cool and wintry looking to me. And this one is kind of flaky and crumbly. This color is insane because it looks like it has glitters, like tiny glitter particles inside of it that transform colors as you're moving your hand, and that is just insane. And those glitter particles that I'm talking about go from dark purple to dark green, and they are just gorgeous. And Beauties, our last color, but of course last but not least, is from Touch of Glam. This is also from their birthday collection that was metallic multichromes. It's called I'm Coming For Ya. This also kind of reminds me of Oxidize, but it does also have a different vibe because it has more silver shift in it than Oxidize. So let's take a look at them next to each other and then you can judge for yourself. So this is Oxidize and this is I'm Coming For You. You see this one also has a purple shift. The purple is not as prominent as Oxidizes is. It almost looks like the base is purple and then you pretty much see the green throughout, but a little bit more prominent in certain angles, and the green is not as green as Oxidizes green is. But then you also do see some very prominent silver glitters in it that you don't see in Oxidize. Again, beauties, I always have to say this disclaimer that when I talk about glitter anytime in my channel, we're not talking about unsafe for the eye glitter and or plastic-based glitter. We are talking about mineral-based glitter that is fully safe for the eyes. The last row from a different angle. And with that, beauties, we come to an end to this video. If you enjoyed this video and these kinds of videos, go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you haven't done already. Also consider subscribing if you're not subscribed yet. Write to me in the comments below if there is a single that you have that you think truly represents winter. I would love to hear about it. I love you all. Have an amazing day, and until next time, bye.